Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Keto Rewind. Today I thought I would make a video on my meal plan. So tomorrow is month 2. So I thought I'd make a meal plan of what I ate in the past 2 months. And also just a little bit of background info on what keto is and keto foods and not approved keto foods. So here we go. What is keto? Well, the modern or pretty much the popular way of eating is a very carbohydrate-based diet which gives your body glucose as its fuel. With keto, you throw everything out of the window that you have been taught or brainwashed your whole life and you embrace this new thought where you're using fat or ketones as your fuel. So you basically switch your source of fuel from glucose to ketones, because when your body doesn't have enough glucose, it naturally will switch and take from your fat reserves. So that's why it's a great weight loss tool, and so with lower insulin levels means your body's a fat burning machine. So again, sign me up. So that's the basics. If you want more information on the real specific scientific studies, do your own research. I got a lot of my info from dietdoctor.com, and it's Dr. Jason Fung. I just really like him and what he preaches, so check him out. Okay, so what can't you have? Say no to these foods. Sugar, that sneaky little bastard, is in everything. I'm no joke. Series of stuff that you would never think, down to medications. Everything has sugar in it. So the main goal, you cut and eliminate all sugar from your diet. So in addition to sugar, you're going to want to cut out all white foods like breads, pastas, rice, potatoes, processed foods, anything that comes in a package, that you didn't actually make, all of those type foods. And you're going to replace those foods with real food, like one ingredient foods like green peppers, that's the only, single ingredient foods such as meats, proteins, and green leafy vegetables. So a lot of people are like, well, what am I going to do if, I need to make something that comes with a recipe with sugar? Well, I highly recommend 2 sweeteners that are great alternatives to sugar. They don't spike your insulin. Your body processes them completely different. They just out. And you can stay in ketosis. Well, first one, my favorite, erythritol. You can buy it in its raw form, erythritol, or I like to buy the brand Swerve, and they grind it up so it can be a powdered form or granulate form. So I like that brand. I'll link that below. My favorite one, I buy it off of Amazon. My local stores here also carry it, but they tend to charge a little bit more than Amazon. So I'm an Amazon shopper, so Amazon it is. But you can, in a pinch, I could go run out to the store if I ran out of erythritol, needed it for a recipe. So you would, or there's monk fruit. It's very similar. It's not erythritol. It's made from the monk fruit, and they're my 2 go-to sweeteners. I tend to use monk fruit in my ice creams, homemade ice creams, and stuff like that. And also dried, what do you call it? Not dried. Liquid stevia. Stevia is a good alternative. Sometimes you can mix stevia with erythritol, and it neutrals out any weird tastes, if you will. So no cooling, no bitterness. They kind of work together. So those are my 3 replacement sugars. And you can pretty much make every recipe you've made your whole life by switching and using those sweeteners. So just to recap, you're going to eliminate all sugar from your diet. You're going to get rid of all the white foods, processed foods, and you're going to replace those with keto versions. And now, what can you have? Well, real food to start off. 1 ingredient foods. But you're going to compose your macros or your daily calories for the day in 3 categories: meats, fats, and carbohydrates. Now, traditional diets have a load of carbohydrates. Keto, you're only allowed 5% of your daily macronutrients to consist of carbohydrates. And those carbohydrates are going to come from nuts, green leafy vegetables, cheese. That's where you're going to get your carbs. But only 5% or 20 net carbs. So what basically is the difference between keto and like a low carb diet? Low carb diets have no restriction on the amount of carbohydrates. You just limit your carbohydrates. Keto caps a number, 20 or below. There's some people that do like 30 or 50 and below, but like true numbers are supposed to be like 20 net carbs a day. So that's your carbohydrates. And now you get 70% of those macronutrients get to be fat. So that means foods like healthy oils like olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil, macadamia nut oil, MCT oil, like those oils, healthy fats. And then also like grass-fed butters, grass-fed dairy, like creams. So you want like, your heavy whipping cream, your sour cream, all of those should be pasture-raised cows that ate grass and made the most delicious dairy for you. And then also, like in addition to pasture-raised like cows, you want pasture-raised chickens that make the most delicious eggs because the chickens ate bugs. Bugs are what chickens eat. They don't eat corn like the normal ones you find at the grocery store. No chickens eating corn. They're eating bugs. They're out in the field scratching up the dirt. That's what they do. Bugs, worms, and that's what makes their eggs so much more nutritious and orangey yolk versus the almost white yolks that you get from the bargain eggs at your grocery store. So free range eggs. And then also, you want your other meats and your seafood and fish to also be, free range, not something they've grown in a little box somewhere. You want these poor animals to go for, do what they're supposed to do, roam. So those are your fats. And then you are going to, so the fats were 70%, vegetables and carbohydrates 5%, and then 20% for protein. I'm sorry, what is that? 25% protein. I'd do my math real quick. So 25% protein, sorry. And that's going to be coming from, again, your pasture-raised meats, your eggs, your seafood, stuff like that. So, pork, So, next. Now, when I lost the bulk of my weight, if you're just joining, I am tomorrow will be month 2 for me. I haven't weighed in yet for month 2, but I do have my 8-week number, and that was 36 pounds in 56 days. So obviously tomorrow I'm going to weigh in again, but and I'll have a month 2 update. But these are the foods that I've been eating for the past 2 months. Now, in my opinion, I found that being in weight loss mode, I was going to eat foods that over and over again with just like switching those foods up so that I would be in weight loss mode like a fat burning machine. There was no reason for me to get all carried away with fancy recipes because I'm losing weight. That's the whole part of the process, the part of the journey. So I would kind of take the same foods and just mix them up. So in general, my go-to vegetables were like all salad mixes: spinach, kale, broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, like green peppers, zucchini, pickles. Are pickles a vegetable? Yeah, I don't know. Like dill pickles, that is. Cucumbers, celery, that kind of like green vegetables. Stuff that's grown above ground, not root vegetables. So then obviously my go-to oils are avocado oil, olive oil, and coconut oil. And like those are my go-to oils that I just use daily. And then my meats would be like turkey burgers, ground beef burgers, meatloaf, turkey and beef versions of meatloaf, grilled chicken, brisket, skirt steak, all kinds of beef. And I personally am not a fan of seafood, but my husband loves seafood. Everybody else likes seafood. It's a personal preference. I don't like seafood. But you can have seafood on keto. So with all that being said, my typical week, I'm going to post here what I normally will eat off of, just every week. The key to this is make a menu, like you see here. Make a menu, make a shopping list, have your snacks readily available so that when you need something, it's there. You will be so much more likely to cheat if you are hungry and you need a snack and you don't have anything there. Or you've come home from work, you're tired, and your fridge is empty because you didn't plan a meal that's keto. So it's so much easier just to go out to dinner. And then even if you stayed on plan, there's always the sneaky sugar that restaurants and other places put in foods that you would not normally have had you made your own dinner. So I put a sample menu together. Like Monday, I'll switch up the amount of eggs I have depending on what my dinner is going to be, because again, you're going to want to compute your macros, and that you can do with KetoGains, MyFitnessPal, Carb Counter. There's so many places out there that have free tools to compute your macros. So obviously I was 309 pounds, so this is based off of a really fat person's menu. So I could have, when I first started, I could have 1,600 macros in a day. So obviously you're going to adjust this to how many you can have. And that's easy to do by just logging your food. It'll tell you how much you can have so you can stay under your goals. So with all that being said, I typically do an intermittent fasting schedule of a 16-8 window. The past 2 months, I have recently changed it, but we're not going to get into all that. For this purpose only, we're using the 16-8 fasting schedule, which means you skip breakfast. You begin eating at noon that day, and you stop eating at 7 or 8. And then you fast until the next morning or lunchtime at noon. So with all that being said, my typical lunch would be my breakfast. So it keeps you on plan. It's easy to whip up breakfast for lunch. And you could even swap the two. You could have your breakfast for dinner and have a bigger lunch. Play with it. That's what you could do. It's so easy. Just think of these ideas and make your own plan that works. So I would base off my meal for the day versus what I'm having in my food. So if I knew I was having a heavier or fattier piece of meat, like a hamburger, I would adjust the amount of eggs I'd have, because I don't need all that fat. You don't need excess fat, especially when you're morbidly obese, but you do need to make sure you get your protein in. So I would have 2 fried eggs and butter, and then for lunch, and then with water throughout the day, water, coffee, tea, unsweet tea, and sparkling waters. And then my snack would be 1 ounce of nuts. Those nuts can be, my go-to would be pecans, walnuts, peanuts, and some cashews. Cashews are high in carbs, so you've got to watch your cashews. But Brazil nuts, nuts, great snacks. They fill you up. You only need a little bit. Easy to bring to work with you. So dinner would be a cheeseburger with mayo, and I would measure all this so you have the serving size. So a 4-ounce cheeseburger with a big dill pickle, bacon. If I didn't have bacon for lunch, I'll have bacon on my burger. But if I had bacon for lunch, I would not have bacon on my dinner unless I needed it fat-wise. But you would know, unless you're logging your food, to know if you need that bacon or not. So, and then I would oven roast broccoli in olive oil. So 2 cups of broccoli per person, in drizzled in olive oil, roasted in the oven. And I'm going to post a whole link to all these recipes, and you'll just check them out at my blog, because I figured it would make this video so long if I gave you recipes on everything. But this is just cliff notes and a guide of what I was eating. So Tuesday, I would eat a 3-egg omelet for lunch. Again, I'm fasting 16-8, with my 3-egg omelet with cheese and Canadian bacon cooked in butter. And then snack would be 1 ounce of nuts, and of my choice, whatever, that week. And then dinner would be 4 ounces of grilled chicken, on a bed of light, like leafy greens, lettuce with kale, like the spring mix, and then drizzled with ranch dressing. And that would be my Tuesday. Wednesday, I would have 2 scrambled eggs with 2 slices of bacon. And knowing that I only had 2 eggs, I could have a little bit more for dinner. So I'd have a snack of 1 ounce of pepperoni. I personally like the Boar's Head brand of pepperoni, the least processed as possible, and it's delicious. And then for dinner, I would make a meatloaf, because meatloaf's really easy to cook and eat off of for a couple days because it's a big meatloaf and it's a time saver. I cook ahead of time, plus your macros if you cook something like that. So I like to make meatloaf, whether it be turkey or beef, and I'll give you that recipe too. And I make my own keto ketchup, so I have that to dip it in, and with roasted kale and roasted asparagus. So I'll post that link. I might even have a video for that, so but I will post that below. And the same thing, I drizzle those vegetables with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and stick them in the oven. And once they are roasted, they are so yummy. So Thursday, 2 hard-boiled eggs. You could have eggs so many different ways. So if you get egged out or something, there's like 400 ways to make an egg. So like, this is just what I did. You can have your eggs different. But 2 hard-boiled eggs and 2 slices of bacon. My snack would be 1 ounce of nuts. And then dinner would be salad with meatloaf croutons. It's genius. You take leftover meatloaf, you dice it up in little crouton-sized pieces. You pan fry it in a fry pan with butter and get a nice crust on there. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You'll never miss real croutons again when you can have meatloaf croutons. Like my kids pop them like they're Skittles. You gotta try it. That recipe will also be posted below. And then obviously ranch dressing. I like ranch dressing. You could do like blue cheese, you could do olive oil, there's a lot of dressings you can have on keto, but I'm a ranch fan. So now Friday, I'll do 2 fried eggs with 3 slices of Canadian bacon. And the snack will be 1 ounce of pepperoni. Dinner would be keto butter chicken. I'll post that recipe below. It's so delicious. It's basically chicken with spices and heavy cream. Oh, so good. Over roasted cauliflower, riced cauliflower, and then I'd have roasted broccoli and olive oil. And then Saturday, 2 scrambled eggs, 2 slices of bacon for lunch. Dinner is 1 ounce of nuts, and dinner will be a 4-ounce cheeseburger again with dill, pickle, bacon if I didn't have bacon, depending on macros, and with mayo, obviously, and then I'll have roasted Brussels sprouts in olive oil. Sunday, and then again, if I go out to eat on the weekends, say we go out to lunch, we'll just have breakfast for dinner. And that's like so easy because then it's a carb-free because it's eggs and bacon or eggs and Canadian bacon. And it's a way to keep on track. So if you've had a little extra, have breakfast for dinner. So easy to correct your macros for the day. So then we do that a lot. And then so basically on Sunday, 3 scrambled eggs, 3 slices of Canadian bacon. Snack is 1 ounce of nuts again. And dinner, taco salad, which I'll use either turkey or ground beef. And I'll make my own taco seasoning, brown the meat, and then put it over a bed of lettuce with cheese, like cheddar cheese, sour cream, avocados, taco meat, ranch dressing, salsa. So delicious. So I'll post all these recipes below, but that's basically, I would switch up. So those same like turkey burgers, beef burgers versus turkey meatloaf, beef meatloaf, steaks as my proteins, grilled chicken, keto butter chicken, pesto chicken. Like I'll just change up the protein and then I'll change it up with the same vegetables that have been roasted in olive oil, salt, and pepper. So like all my green veggies that I just told you about. And then obviously my breakfasts were always, eggs and bacon of some sort, some variation of the eggs, some variation of the bacon. So Canadian bacon is delicious. I kind of like on a Canadian bacon kick right now, but regular bacon is good too. So if you have questions, if you want me to be a lot more specific on my meal plan, like literally give out a meal plan with like macros, all tailored to you and how your serving size and all that stuff, comment below if you would be interested in that. I may have to charge like $5 because that's going to take time, but if you're interested in actually a custom meal plan for you based off of like what I've been doing, but in your macronutrient level, comment below, let me know. And if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see actual videos of me every day, what I eat, I'll also be glad to do that as well. So basically what I eat in a day videos. So I will catch you at the next video. Let me know if this made any sense at all, or if this is something that you need some help with. So leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications so that you don't miss any videos. And a quick peek. I don't know if my camera's far enough back, but cute little outfit today. It feels so good to fit into clothes and just feel beautiful again. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you at the next video. I'm Jess, and you're watching Keto Rewind. Bye!